Okay, so we're going to focus straight towards our feet first. So if you check that your feet are hip width apart, check that they're parallel, facing forward, relax off your ankles, relax off your knees, and check that your pelvis is in line as well. And then lift your ribs away from your pelvis, take your shoulders up a bit, back a bit, and then all the way down to the floor. And think about what we did last week, which was that quadratus lumborum muscle down the back, attached to the bottom of your bottom rib and the top of your pelvis. So draw that down as well, and your shoulder blades will follow. Then carry on the length through the neck, through the crown of the head to the ceiling. Think about connection through the floor, through your feet to the floor, and up towards the sky through the crown of your head. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to focus back down towards the feet, and we're going to rock them side to side. But before we do that, we're going to think about keeping the body completely still. So to keep it still, we're going to draw the pelvic floor up and in. We're going to draw the transversus abdominis on here, around the banda muscle around your waist. So keeping those on, you're going to rock your feet, or tilt your feet from one side to the other. But you're avoiding swaying. It's lovely to sway, but you're avoiding swaying. You're just moving your feet. Good. And then you're going to take both feet out at the same time, and then both in. So you're lifting up the inside soles of your feet, and then the outside soles of your feet. Good. One more time, inside. Lovely, and then bring that back. And then we're going to go tippy toes. So draw on the pelvic floor and transverse, fire up your bottom muscles as well, and then come up. Just a little way to start with. Think about length through the spine, shoulder blades drawn down, and length through the back of the neck. And then take it slowly down. And again, breath in, draw on the core muscles, and breath out and come up. Lovely. Hold it there, and then slowly down. Good. A little bit higher this time, so breath in, draw the core muscles on, put on the glute muscles, and then come up. Think shoulders low, and then coming up a little bit higher. Good. Slowly down. Well done. And one more time. Breath in, breath out, coming up. But this time we're going to take your arms out to the side. So you're up on tiptoes, arms are going out to the side. Lovely. And then quick breath in, and slowly down with the arms coming with you. Well done. Very nice. Take a breath in now. You're going to take your arm to the ceiling, and we're going to side bend. And remember that you're trying to not lean forwards or back as you side bend. Breath in, and breath out to come up. And you're trying to keep the weight evenly between the 2 feet. So breath in. So as you breathe out, you think about pressing down the floor with both feet equally. So your hips stay really firm and level. Breath in, and then breath out to come up. And one more, each side. Breath in, and then breath out. A little bit further. Keep your chin up. So you're really taking that ear to your shoulder. Breath in, and breath out to come up. And again, other side. Take a breath in, breath out. Breath in here. Core is on, and then coming up. Lovely. Take a breath in. We're going to come onto tiptoes of one foot. You're going to take the knee up in front of you, and you're going to try and keep your hips the same level. You're then going to take your arms out again, like we did before, and breath in, and you're going to rotate just the top half, and then you're going to come back. Good. Take that down. Take it down. Take the leg down. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. Breath in. And we're going to come to tiptoe on the other foot, and we're going to come draw the legs slowly off the floor. Arms go out to the side. Breath in, and you're going to rotate the opposite way. Good. And then bring it back, and then take those down. Lovely. We're going to do a little roll down. So if you are on a mat, come to the edge of your mat, so that we're going to roll down. Then we're going to go on to hands and knees, and then we're going to push off hands and knees and roll back up again. Okay, so breath in, and we're going chin to chest, and then you're following up through with the upper spine, and then the middle of the spine, and then feeling the movement in the lower spine, and then hinge at the hips. Let your head and arms hang, and then feel a little pull in the back of the legs, so you bend off the knees, breath in, and then you're going to go forwards 1, 2, 3, 4. Gently down with your knees. Breath in here. And then coming up. Knees push up. 1, 2, 3. So you're back to the bottom of your roll down. Head is hanging. Breath in. And then breathe out and roll up. One vertebrae at a time, stacking. Let's do that again. And breath in. And chin to chest. So you're rolling through, rolling down. Head's already starting to go towards the floor. So the crown of the head towards the floor. So you're looking up at your navel. Arms are relaxing. Feel a little pull in the back of the legs. Bend off the knees. Start to take it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the knees come to the floor. Breath in. And then up. Knees off the floor and walking back. Trying to keep your hips really still so they're not swaying. And breath in and then breathe out to come up. I'm going to do that one more time, but this time you're going to stay down on the floor, okay, on your hands and knees. So breath in and rolling through, rolling down. Good. Making sure your head and arms are hanging. And then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're on hands and knees. Lovely. Well, then now we're going to do a little cat. So take a breath in and arch your, take a breath in and tilt your pelvis under. So the pelvis goes under and then you're arching the rest of the back to the ceiling and coming through with your head. Okay, and breath in and come out with the pelvis first, then the lower back, shoulder blades, and head last. And again, okay, little cat. Breath in, and breath out. Coming up into your cat, really arching the back as much as you possibly can. Lovely. Breath in there, and breath out to come back. Good. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to push your shoulders away from the floor. So you've got knees are under hips and arms are under shoulders, and you're going to sink and push the shoulders. So if you start by pushing the shoulders away, so you're not arching the back like I just tried to do, you're simply just pushing the shoulders away. So you're retaining the curve in the lower back. And then you're going to drop the shoulder blades between your arms, so your chest drops to the floor, and then you're going to push again with the shoulders. And then drop towards the floor. All the time keeping your core on, so keeping that belly button drawn away from the floor, but not arching the spine, keeping the spine in neutral, so letting it drop, and then pushing away. And one more time, letting it drop, and pushing away. Good. Okay, so this time we're going to do little leg slide, so take a breath in. And you're going to make sure that you keep your hips absolutely still as you slide that foot back, tuck the toe under, and then slide it back in. And again, same on the other side. Breath in, and slide the other leg away. Keep your hips really still, and slide back in. Good, same the other side. So here you imagine you've got a spirit level across your hips, and you're sliding the leg in, but not wobbling, not moving those hips, keeping everything absolutely still. And you can always look down at the supporting thigh. And what you should see is that the leg, as you slide the one leg away, the other supporting leg just stays completely upright. So knee remains underneath the hip. What can happen is that the hip can go out to the side. So as you slide the leg, the hip comes and you'll see it move. So try to really keep it still. When you're happy with what's happening with your legs, you can bring your head back so it's parallel, so you're not dropping your head there. Good. One more, each side, and slide it in. And all the time you've got those shoulders pushed away from the floor and the belly button drawn up. Good. Just take your weight off your hands for a second. And we're going to do some small little leg circles. So come back to your hands and knees. Back to knees underneath hips, hands under shoulders, shoulders pushed away. Little curve in the lower back, so you're in your spine neutral position. Breath in here. And then you're going to slide that leg away. We're then going to raise it so it's parallel to the floor. And then we're going to do 4 slow circles in one direction. And these circles are about the size of a side plate. So that's 3. And you should really be feeling it in your glute muscle as you circle this. Then we're going to reverse the circles. And the whole time you're trying to keep your hips still, so those stabilizing muscles are doing their job in the core, and all the stabilizing muscles around your hips. That's 4 that way. Quick breath in, draw it in, so we can slide out the other one. So breath out, breath in, breath out, and float. And then we're going to circle. Once. Keeping those hips really still. Not letting that one hip, check that it's, look down and check that it's over, the hip is over your knee. So you haven't stuck your hip out to the side. And then reverse it. So it's 4, keeping your hips really still. Sucking that tummy in. Pushing your shoulders away from the floor. Keeping your neck in line with the floor, parallel to the floor. Good. Breath in. And then draw it down to the floor. Slide it in. Take your weight off your hands and go into child's pose. Just bring your arms back towards you so they relax. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to lie out on your tummies. And we're going to sphinx. So pop your heads either underneath your forehead or just to the side. Okay, breath in. And as you breathe out, you draw that belly button in, draw the pelvic floor in, and then raise the head, the shoulders, and the shoulder blades coming up. Good. Breath in here, and then come back down. So your core stays on, but the bottom is relaxed. It's so hard to do that, but really try and switch off the bottom and leave the core on. Because Pilates is about relaxing some muscles and working others. It's not about working hard all the time. It's being able to, switch on muscles, switch off muscles. Because in life, we do hold some muscles in tension. And we'll all hold tension in various places. So some in the face, some in the shoulders, some in the legs. So being able to switch off muscles and get them to relax is as important as being able to switch them on. So bottom stays off and core is on. About 4 or 5 out of 10 for the core for this. So we're drawing those shoulder blades right down the spine as we've come up. Good, let's do one more. Breath in and one more. Lovely. We're going to change that to a swan now, so slide your hands to your side. Take the feet a little bit wider with them pointing away from you. Breath in and breath out, and we're going to come up with the head, drawing the shoulder blades down, pushing through the hands, keeping the shoulders really broad. Now here I want you to really draw that tummy off the floor. Draw it right away from the floor, but think about length through the spine. Breath in, and then we're coming down. Shoulders are coming down, elbows are coming down as soon as you can, rounding the back to the floor, controlling it, and taking it down, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Breath in. And again, so the head comes up, but think about length through that neck. Draw the core on as you keep coming up. Your bottom will start to fire up a bit as you come higher. Now draw that belly button away from the floor. Suck it through into your spine. Breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to stay where you are, but just nod the head. So the chin goes towards the floor or towards your chest. And then it's going to come up. Don't arch the head back. Just take it so it's a long neck. And one more time. So we're nodding, chin to chest, keeping the shoulders low and away from your ears. Bring it up. Breath in. And then core is on, really on as you come down with the elbows as soon as you can. Then the chest. And then the head last. Well done. Very good. Okay. I'd like you to slide your fingers underneath your hip bones and draw your legs so they're parallel to each other and hip width apart. So you're going to go breath in, draw the pelvic floor in, draw the belly button away from the floor, and as you float the one leg, we're trying not to close down or try not to put any pressure on that hip bone and take it down again. And again, breath in, pelvic floor transverse, right glute or one of your glutes, whichever leg you're lifting, and lower it down. And again, breath in. So you're really trying to work the core and the glutes so that you're not pressing down on the hip bone. And pressing down the hip bone is trying to stop the back collapsing. So if you're getting pressure through the hip bone, what's generally happening is your lower back is collapsing into the floor. So you want to support your lower back by creating that abdominal pressure, making those core muscles do their job so the spine can stay where it is. Good. Let's do one more each side. Really working hard. If you do these well, they are so hard, these. And then switch everything off. Take your hands out in front. We're going to raise to exactly the same feeling and movement as in the legs. We're going to add the opposite arm. So take a breath in, draw the belly button in, pelvic floor in, and fire at the one glute, float that leg and raise the opposite arm and the head a tiny bit off the floor. So the head is just floating. Lower it down slowly. Breath in, pelvic floor transverse, other glutes, really squeeze that leg away, float the opposite arm and leg. Same thing the other side. Keep the core on. Fire up the other glute muscle with the core. Float. Try not to think about that collapsing of the spine. Try not to let it move. Keep those hip bones floating over the floor. Breath in. Breath out. Pelvic floor transverse. Other glute. Head a little bit off the floor. Good. And relax. Well done. I'm going to come back now. Pop your fingers back underneath your hip bones. But we're going to float the leg and then we're going to take it a tiny bit off center. Okay, so breath in. Really pulling the pelvic floor, pulling that transverse. Really work it, work that glute as you float the leg. And then really work even harder as you take it away from center, because you'll feel the way you get a little bit of pressure through the fingers there. You'll get a bit. Okay, we're not superhuman. Take it down. And then same on the other side. Breath in. Fire up the glute, pelvic floor transverse, float it. So you might be getting good at this bit now, but then when you take it off center, you have to work even harder to stop that collapsing of the hip bone into your fingers. Good, let's do one more the other side. Breath in, pelvic floor transverse, glute, float the leg, take it off center. Ooh, and bring it back. Take it down, keep the core on. Breath in, fire up the pelvic floor even more, transverse even more, fire up that glute, raise it, and now really work hard as you take it away from center, and back, and down. Guess what? We're going to do the arms with it. So slide the arms back over your head, breath in, and pelvic floor transverse. Now fire up that one glute, float that leg, take the opposite arm with you. We just did it. Raise the head a little bit. Now take them both off center. Working hard not to let the leg go down and not raising the leg too high. Gently down. Breath in. Keep the core on. Fire up the other glute. Really slide that leg away as you float it up. Raise the opposite arm and take them off center. Good. Bring it back. Take it down. We're going to do one more each side. Breath in, pelvic floor, transverse. That glute muscle, float the arm with it. Take it off center. Working hard not to collapse. Bring it back. Good, last one. Breath in, keep the core on. Fire up that glute muscle, float the leg, opposite arm. Take them off center. Work hard now underneath, suck that tummy in. Take it down slowly. Oh, well done, and relax. Push back into child's pose again. Well done, very good. This time with child's pose, what I'd like you to do is sit your buttons down and then you're going to walk your fingers forwards. Walk them forwards so they really stretch down the arms. Oh, lummy. Stiff today. Walk them down. Walk, walk, walk. Good. And sit that bum back. Lovely. Think about length through the neck as well. And then I'd like you to bring the arms in a little bit and relax them. Just relax those arms. Slide them down by your side.
Take a breath in and fill that rib cage. And as you breathe out, I want you to really let your bottom sit down towards your feet. And again, breath in, fill the rib cage. And then as you breathe out, let your bum collapse into your feet.
Lovely. Okay, we're going to just sit round on your bottoms and you're going to roll down. Now here, this is where you have your tights. If you want your tights as a band to put around your feet, then off you go. But we're going to do a couple of roll downs and then we're going to stay down. Make sure that your legs are long, that you're sitting as tall as you possibly can. If you haven't got the band, we're going arms directly out, but bring your shoulders back so they're in their neutral position. Breath in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to draw the belly button in. We're rounding the lower back, so you're curving down to the floor. Remember that if you've got a very flat back, you might need your towel. Hopefully you've already put it there. If you haven't got a band, the arms go overhead. If you have got a band, just hold on to the band. Take a breath in as you bring your arms to the ceiling, and breath out, curling up. Now draw that belly button in. Make that tummy really strong. Round it as you come up. And then you're coming forwards with a round spine, and then you're stacking that spine back up. Lovely. And again, breath in. And breath out. So you're rounding. Really pull that belly button in. Make it strong, that tummy. Put one vertebrae on the floor at a time. Rounding it down. Good. Take your hands overhead if you haven't got a band. Breathe in as you bring the arms to the ceiling. Breathe out as you curl the chin to chest. Now really draw that tummy in, make it strong, really strong as you come up. And then sitting up. Okay, this time we're going to stay down. So breath in, breath out, round in the back. So you've got to curve it to make it easier for yourself. Pull the belly button through now as you get to that harder bit. Take it back. If you haven't got a band, arms overhead. Circle the arms round. If you've got your tights or band, just leave them where they are. And you're going to come so that your knees are bent. We're going to hip roll. So put your feet and knees and feet together. Arms out to the side. Breath in. And we're going to roll to one side. So your core is on. Your hips are doing the movement. And you're going to breathe in and come back. Breath in. So breath out to the side. Breathe in and come back. And roll the opposite way on the out breath. Good. And then come back. Lovely. And then the other way. So all the time, the feet are glued together, the knees are glued together, the legs are not sliding apart at all, they're totally glued, and the part of your body doing the movement are your hips. One more each side. And then same on the other one. Really keeping everything glued together, making the movement come from the pelvis. And then bring that back. Good. We're going to do the same thing in the air. So take your feet back to hip width apart. Take a breath in. Draw the belly button down. And then float the one knee. Now, before you draw the second one up, the second leg, take a breath in. Pelvic floor and transverse on. And I'd like you to draw those quadratus lumborum down so your ribs go towards the floor. And then you can float your second leg up without any doming of the stomach. Now, put your knees and feet together. Breath in. And we're going to go over to the side. So same thing, feet are glued and legs are glued. Breathe in to come back. Control it the whole time, and then you're rolling over to the other side. So the hips and pelvis, bottom, are doing the work. And then bring it back. Try and really soften the shoulders. So they're quiet. They're gently pushing down onto the floor. Just soften them off. So you've got connection between the ribs and the floor. Draw that pelvic floor in, draw the transverse in, enough to hold it stable. Good. And the obliques are working as well around your stomach because they're drawing it back each time. Good. One more each side. Breath out. Breath in to come back. Good. Last one. Soft shoulders, arms heavy on the floor. Lovely. Good. Just hug your knees into your chest there. Little rocks. So you rock forwards and back. Little rocks up and down, and little rocks side to side. Lovely. Put one foot back down, put the other foot back down. Put your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to spine curl. So arms are relaxed and gently out to the side. Shoulders are away from ears. Neck is very long. Breath in. Breath out and draw the belly button gently in so that you start to imprint the spine into your pelvic tilt. You're then going to curl one vertebra at a time off the floor, peeling up until you're up in a spine neutral position. Then breath in and drawing that down. So one vertebra at a time going back to the floor. And again, breath in. Think about relaxing the legs. Think about really focusing on the center, not bracing too hard, but enough just to give you control. So the hips, we're trying to avoid that swaying of the hips. Breath in, nice long neck at the end there, and breath out to come down. So trying to put the spine exactly where you peeled it off. Good. Okay, this one we're going to just cross your hands onto your ribs. Breath in, and we're going to peel up. So we've got less arms on the floor, which means it's just a little bit harder to keep stable. Because it's hard to keep stable, that means the stabilizing muscles, your core muscles, are having to do the job. So asking more of them when you haven't got the support of the arms. Okay, one more. This time we're going to cross the arms across the chest. Breath in. And we're peeling that spine off the floor. Really trying to concentrate on keeping the hips still as you peel them up and down. Breath in, and then coming back down one vertebra at a time. Really trying to keep the hips still now as you gently press them back down. Good. Lovely. Okay, let's do that once more. Breath in, breath out, and we're going to peel. Now, we're going to float one foot just off the floor up to a knee float. If you need the arms, then pop them back down. If you don't need them, which is more challenging, leave the arms across your chest. I'm going to put them down today. So breath in. You're going to push with the one foot into the floor. So you're going to push with that foot and you're going to float the other one so that you come up to a one single knee float. Now watch that hip doesn't drop here. So push that little hip up. And then gently put it back down. Try to relax the shoulders. Breath in. Really fire up the one glute. Push that foot into the floor and float the opposite knee. Good. Put it back down. Breath in. Keep your hips high. And then we're going to peel that back down again. We're going to do that one more time. So it's up to you. So your arms can either be on the floor or they can be across your chest. Breath in. And peel the belly button through into the spine. Roll the vertebrae up off the floor. Breath in. Push that foot into the floor and float the opposite knee. Keep that hip up, okay? Have a look down. Both hips should be the same height. And then put that back down. Breath in. Keep the hips up. Fire that glute up by pushing that foot into the floor. Really work the bum, because if you don't work the bum, the hamstrings take over and then they start to cramp often. Check your hip height. Put it back down. Keep the hips high. Quick breath in and then come out. Well done. Good. We're going to do a spinal rotation. So if you draw the one foot off the floor, put the opposite hand towards it, put the core on as you start to round or roll the leg over. Let the one leg go a bit further first, then this one can follow and you're into a spinal rotation. Soften off that shoulder. Soften off that shoulder and allow your knee to come over. You can always put the hand on top of the knee to help it. So you should be feeling this stretch across the back of the hip, maybe down the bottom, maybe in the back there, maybe across your pectoral muscles, which is across the front of the chest into the armpit there, or front of the shoulder. Keep your neck really long, so you're looking up at the ceiling. You can look opposite way. See what that's like for you. Lovely. Okay, let go of that leg. Put your core on. Hip roll back over. That foot to the floor. Check that you're back in neutral. Breath in. pelvic floor and transverse on, float the other knee. We're going to hip roll those over to the one side. Allow your leg closer to the floor to go a bit further so your legs open, and then bring this top leg over. Remember, this opposite shoulder is relaxed, stays on the floor. Transfer your underneath arm to the top of the leg and gently put some pressure. If you need to. If you don't need any pressure, then don't worry about it. But again, feeling the stretch around the hip, down the back of the bottom, or the bottom, don't know where the back of the bottom is, and then you'll rotate your rotation muscles around the back here, and then possibly across the armpit. Really relax the shoulders. Breath in, core is on, and we're going to start with that top leg, then the bottom one follows, and then we're back down. Lovely. Come up onto your side now. So what we're going to do, we're going to come up onto elbow and knee. Now, if you're on your mat, check that your knee and elbow are the same distance from the front of your mat. And because we're going to go up on those 2 points in a minute. Your feet are bent behind you, and you are thinking about having a long spine. So, breath in, and we're going to raise the knees up off the, raise the hips off the floor, so you're in a straight line. So we're going knees, hips, shoulders. Then we're going to take this arm directly up, okay? Breath in, and then we're going to gently go back down. So your bottom goes slightly behind you. And again, breath in. So we're going to come up on the breath out. Breath in. And then out, down on the out breath, using our core. Breath in to prepare. Breath out, going to come up. Breath in, and then breath out to go down. And we are trying to go up. I had to adjust then a little bit. So breath in. So I had to adjust because my hips were wanting to go too high. So I was more banana shaped, whereas really they should be in a straight line. One hip over the other. So not leaning back with that top hip forwards. And then take that down. Good. And it really uses your obliques underneath here. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take the arm up, then we're going to take it over. Breath in. And wait 1 second. So sorry. If you're finding your shoulders not liking this, you can try this with your arm. Okay, so I'll just show you. So you're going to come up on the arm. Now you might find that nicer than being on your elbow. Let's try it. Let's try it on the arm. Okay, so you've got a choice, elbow or arm. Breath in and take it up. Now we're going, reaching overhead, coming back, taking it down again. Good. Let's do one more of those. Breath out. Over, back, and down. Good. As we're almost there, you're going to come up to your sitting now. So you're sitting tall, and then you're going to take your arms out, and we're going to go over with one. So we're going over. So we're stretching that side we just worked. Okay, so you're exactly the same as me. So you're going towards the bent feet. So you really stretch down that one side. Great. And bring that back. Let's go down over onto the other side. So again, let's start on elbows, but if you really don't like elbows, you can go directly onto arms. Hands just to the side of your body, breath in, and we're going to come up, straight line, arm to the ceiling. Good, breath in, breath out, going down. And again, breath in, coming up, and then back down. Good. Breath in. Really switch the core and transverse on. Think about one hip over the other. Everything in a straight line. Think about length from elbow to tip of the fingers. Coming back down on the out breath. Good. One more time. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And breath out. Good. Let's transfer that to the arm. So you're up on the arm. Fingers are facing away from you. So away from your knees, breath in, and core is on as you come up, breath out. Then we're going to take the arm overhead, really draw that tummy in, take it back, take it down. And again, breath in, and coming up. Well done. Take the arm overhead, keep length through the spine, really long spine, hips one on top of the other. Take the arm over, draw the tummy in, take it back, quick breath in, take it down. Lovely. Just push yourself back up so you're sitting with those knees bent. Take the arms to the side, and you're going to mermaid stretch. Take it over. So we're obviously now stretching the other side that we've just been working underneath there. Lovely. Let's go back onto your backs. So back onto your backs, roll it back down, back into spine neutral. Take a breath in, pelvic floor transverse is on, you're going to float that one leg. Now work hard on keeping the tummy completely flat. You take a breath in, draw the belly button in, bring that quadratus lumborum down, float the second leg. So we're looking at no bulging in the stomach whatsoever. We're keeping a little curve in the lower back. Breath in, and we're gently putting the one leg down, followed by the second leg. And again, breath in. Let's start with the other leg this time. Quick breath in, and then belly button down, really pull the transverse in, squeeze the ribs down, float the second leg. Lovely. We're then going to take both legs up to the ceiling so that they're straight as you can. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit bent. Okay, so they can be like this. And we're going to scissor. So you're going to take one leg back and one leg forward. Oh, I told you I was stiff today. And again, did a big walk yesterday. Just shows you. So it's good to stretch. If you really want to, and your spine is absolutely fine, then you can take your head off the floor. Okay? It is a little bit easier, but it's not good for your back if you've got any sign of osteoporosis. Then just bring your legs forwards. Good, lovely. Take them in. What I'd like you to do now is open the knees to the side, come up with your head, wrap your arms around your ankles, and gently put your head back down on the floor. Now, if you're now in this position, with your chin sticking up, then make sure you've put your towel or a little block or something under your head, just to raise the head and be able to lengthen out the back of the neck. It's really important. Allow your knees to drop out to the side, and you should feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Try to relax your shoulders. Core is gently on. Good. And then take one arm off, take the other, bring the feet back together, little rock, and then pop them back down. We're going to hip stretch. So taking your feet back to hip width apart, you take your one ankle, cross it over onto the opposite knee, allow that knee to drop out to the side, breath in, pelvic floor and transverse on, ribs down towards the floor so that you can pull that, lift that leg without any doming in the stomach. And then you can experiment. So you can raise your leg, lower it. Should be feeling it in the outside part of your thigh on this bent leg here. Hold on to ankle knee if you want to. And same thing. So if you've got your chin sticking in the air, put something under your head so you can lengthen out the back of the neck. Otherwise, you're going to start getting quite tense around the neck muscles. So you do want that back of the neck to be long. You want your shoulders to be relaxed. Great. Put the core on now as you put the foot back down. Unravel. Same with the other leg. Breath in. Core is on. Cross the leg over. Draw the ribs down. Float the supporting leg. Hold on to knee and ankle. Check that your neck is nice and long with your chin tucked in and your shoulders are relaxed. Lovely. And then gently put that foot back down. Take your legs off. Slide one leg away. Slide the other leg away. Put your hands over your head. And you're going to stretch. Fingers, fingers, fingers in one direction. point your toes, and then you're going to flex your feet. So really push your heels away from you. Push, 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 push. And then relax. Take your arms around, and you are finished. It does not fly that time. So come over up onto your hands and knees. We're going to get you up off the floor, but before we do, thank you ever so much. Well done again, and I'll see you next week. Okay? So hands and knees, hands and feet, bottoms coming in the air, draw that tummy in, and you can uncurl. Okay, take care, have a great week. See you next Monday. Bye.